you're trying to grow competitively in Disney Lorcana and you really want to try and get a grasp on the tournament structure for this game, this video is for you. My name is Eric, this is Granola TCG, and I love making videos about Lorcana. I hope I can help you grow along your journey as well. So first and foremost, when I think about Disney Lorcana's tournament structure, I primarily think in 3 concentric circles. The first circle that we have, I would say, is the local circle. And within that local circle, you have 3 main events. You have pre-release events, you have weekly league, and you have set champs or set championships. Pre-release events are primarily a great way to get to know the new cards of a set, as well as to get your hand on some product and have fun playing the game. I would say on a competitive nature, it's pretty low on the scale, but it's high on the fun. Then when you look at weekly leagues, these vary drastically on how competitive they are. It really depends on the store that you're attending these weekly leagues at. Some stores put up great prizing, which makes the weekly league a little bit more competitive. Perhaps they're putting up store credit on the line or a lot of packs on the line to win and earn. And then some stores are very low key and chill, and people are trying out wild and crazy decks that really aren't competitive at all. And so I would say from a competitive nature, it really just depends on your weekly league if it is high or low. Then there's set champs. Set champs are designed to be pretty competitive as they are put up with some serious prizing from Ravensburger. The winner of a set champs gets a special championship playmat, and then if you make top 8, you get a promo card that is cold foil that could be worth somewhere around $30 to $50 to $100 depending on the popularity of that card. And then even if you just attend the event, you get a promo for that set. On top of that, stores often put up their own prizing along with the Ravensburger prizing, which may mean store credit or packs or whatsoever. But an unfortunate reality for any of these local events is that they are self-contained. If you win a set champs or you do well at local league, it really doesn't mean anything for growing up the ladder in competitive events. It just means that you've been growing your personal skills in the game and you're doing well locally, but it doesn't earn you spots in bigger tournaments. This brings us to our second concentric circle. And I would call this circle regionals. When it comes to Disney Lorcana, there are 3 typical regional events: DLCs, CCQs, and third-party events. As terrible as my handwriting is, DLCs stand for Disney Lorcana Challenges. These are regional events hosted by Ravensburger across the world. In particular, in America, we had 3 DLCs this season, 2 of which have passed already, and all 3 of which unfortunately seem to be up in the northern or northeastern part of the country, which means if you live in any other areas of the country, it can be kind of hard to get to. These events are also pretty exclusive, even though there are 2,000 tickets available, because there are so few events, so many people are trying to gain access to them. On the flip side though, these events have the highest possible outcome for you when it comes to topping the event. If you do well in a DLC and you make it all the way to top 32, then you earn yourself a spot at Nationals. And if you win the event, you earn yourself a seat at Worlds. And so these events are the most competitive open events to anyone to compete. On top of upward mobility in these events, there's also amazing prizing available that can be collectibles or even things that you can sell to recoup your trip or earn some money. But this brings us to the events that usually have the best prizing available, and that is our third-party events. A great example of a third-party event that happened recently was Charlie's Collectibles Show 25K. This event had $25,000 up for grabs for competitors. Now, quick note, a 25K does not mean the winner gets $25,000. That's what I thought until I competed in another event where it was a 2K and I won it, and it turns out I only got $700 because there is prizing available for those who come in second and third and fourth and so on and so forth. But these events are pretty awesome because they have great prizing available and they give you a lot of players to compete against, usually going up to hundreds and hundreds of players. And lastly, this brings us to CCQs, also known as Competitive Challenge Qualifiers. I hate this name. I cannot remember it. Brr. And lastly, this brings us to Challenge Championship Qualifiers, also known as CCQs. On occasion, Ravensburger will choose one of these third-party events to partner with and create a CCQ. This means that not only is the prizing available from the third-party event, but Ravensburger is also bringing in their special prizing of promos and a seat at nationals. That's right, if you can win a CCQ, you earn yourself a seat at a national championship. Compared to DLCs, CCQs are quite smaller, usually ranging about 300 players compared to the 2,000 players, but they can't earn a seat at Worlds like DLCs can. And there's only one spot that can earn a seat at Nationals compared to top 32 at DLCs. And so all three of these events are highly competitive and have a range of different buy-ins, usually all being under $100, but they have a varying amount of prizing depending on if it's a third party getting lots of cash or a DLC getting lots of promos and potential seats at other championships, and then CCQs kind of getting the mix of both. And this brings us to our last and final concentric circle, which consists of Nationals and Worlds. Now, like I mentioned before, if you were to win a DLC, you can earn yourself a spot at Nationals. And if you top 32 in a DLC and you win a CCQ, you can earn yourself a spot at Nationals. Now, Worlds and Nationals both have their own prizing individually, filled with all kinds of awesome Lorcana promotional cards and things of that nature. But to make it from Nationals to Worlds, you're going to have to make it to the top 8. That is the only way to secure a spot in the World Championship from Nationals. And when you get to Worlds, you're simply competing to be the best. Now, as ugly and terrible as my handwriting is, and even though this picture is not very aesthetically pleasing, generally it is a good guide to understand the tournament structures as they are right now in Disney Lorcana. I hope you can start locally, getting good at weekly league, winning some set champs, and then eventually finding yourself at some regional tournaments near you, and eventually maybe even making it to Nationals or Worlds. If this video was helpful at all, please feel free to leave a comment or any of that YouTube stuff. I just want you to know I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching.